Welcome everyone to our Q3 WA Qlik user group here in Perth in Western Australia. We have several exciting presentations today, and first one would be from Ajay Kumar from Qlik, what's new in Qlik moving to cloud, and then Edwin from Motio, who is actually in the US, as you just heard, and who has 4 a.m. At the moment, will enlighten us with zero-touch version control system for Qlik, not only for Qlik, but Power BI as well. And then it will be me with some recipes for good performance. So we will have today a mix of data governance, some news, and the technical presentations. So yeah, let's get started. Ajay, over to you.
Hey, thanks, Sergey. Okay, let me share my screen and then I'll take it on.
Yep.
Interesting talk.
Let me know when you guys see my screen on.
No, you're still not there, but we will make it happen. Whoop. We can see your screen now.
I can see my screen now. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm sorry I couldn't make it this time, but I'm trying to make my travel to West very soon. Right. So we'll see you very soon in the next event. So I'm Ajay. I'm part of the partner enablement team. I'm with Qlik for like close to 4 years now. I moved to Sydney recently, and I'm keeping saying recently, but it's a 1 year. I'll be completing 1 year in next few days. And I've been with the Qlik ecosystem for a while. So I have a disclaimer here because some of the contents, some of the products and features, what I'm going to show you here is not fully released yet, but eventually we will be having it in our pipeline. Okay. So I wanted to start from one of a slide, which I stopped during the last presentation. What you guys get in the cloud, right? What is the benefit or what are the advantages you guys get in the cloud? Okay, so the basic thing last time we talked about is what are the things you get in the platform, what are the things you get as a content, and what are the AI capability, embedding, catalog, collaboration. So these are all the different components which we were talking on. Since we spoke last time, there has been a tremendous changes in the Qlik, and there are lots of changes in the cloud platform as well. So we had Qlik Connect. During the Qlik Connect, we announced a new lakehouse, which is coming in as part of the Qlik and it's going to be GA very soon. And then also, we were talking about the Qlik Agentic AI framework, which is also going to be a part of the cloud. So all these features are going to be on the cloud. So we need to ensure that we make our users to start experiencing the cloud. So in the cloud feature from the previous platform, few things that has added up. One is basically on the data preparation stage of it. Okay, so the data preparation is an important thing which was added and released recently, where users can do a no-code data preparation directly in the cloud. And how they do is just drag and drop the capability and just use the Qlik functionality both in analytics and also in the data integration. So this eventually a hybrid model coming in from Stitch, which Qlik took over from the talent perspective. And then it also comes into the analytic framework because some of you guys might have heard about Expressor, which is Qlik no code ETL, which we are having in. So it comes as a hybrid of the both of the component. Okay. So that's on the data preparation. I'm going to show you a single screen how it looks on. I'm not going to go through a demo. It's just going to be a showcase only. So what I'm showing you is my Qlik Cloud here, platform here. Okay. And over here, so this is the prepare data, data preparation stage, where we will be able to create a workflow, which is basically a data flow. And eventually we will be able to do much more. Okay, I'll just show you the flows only. Right, I'll be able to create a data flow. And another new thing that has been added recently is the table receipt, where I will be able to manage or edit a table in a single item. So this is a new which got added in. So I'll show you a very quick tour of how it is being done. and how easy it can be done. Okay, all this we are doing it in the cloud platform. This is part of the data preparation capability, which was added new to the current environment. Okay. So you can see in here, it's a no code. I can connect to all my sources on the right. Okay, I can pull in from the catalog, or I can connect to the data source, or I can bring in from the local file. And once I bring in the file, once I do the analytics, then I can do all the operations, drag and drop, and eventually I'll be able to create a pipeline, and then my output, I can set it into my QEDs or my direct application. So that is the part which comes on the data preparation, which is on the no code data preparation, which is help much quickly for my analytics. Now, many of our customers are still with the on-premise environment. People love the client manage. Yes, of course, I will also be very much happy using our client manage environment. There is no hard, easy for it to manage, scale and all that. But potentially there is a high cost keep on increasing over the year. What happening is we have so much data, or like we have so much users getting on. So we are not able to scale as fast as our analytic need is coming in. And also when you're in on-prem, you are limited to a certain, or like only a small set of data sets. So however, when you start moving into the Qlik cloud, what you get is basically, instead of my software license cost, we pay a single subscription cost. Earlier, we used to pay for our users, we used to pay for end printing, geoanalytic, a multiple component, multiple license. But with the cloud, you will have only a single license to pay. Like basically we buy the capacity, and anything inside is we can use it for all. So using that single license model, you can predict your pricing, and eventually you don't have additional hidden cost within your environment. So basically my users or my IT team, all they pay is basically an upfront cost on what they are going to buy on. Okay, we can do a deeper dive on cost analysis, but today that's not the main agenda. I'm going to the next step on what is my ROI? How much do I save when I go to the cloud analytics, and how much time it take for me. Sorry, yeah. How much time it take for me to go into the Qlik cloud, and how much easy it is to go into the Qlik cloud. So to go it easy into the Qlik cloud, so this is basically where we have the migration tool, which got launched 2 months before. So eventually after the last meetup group, it was in internal preview and all that. Then we had this launch on the migration tool. It is also available in the Qlik Learning, and it's available as a learning program, and you can do your certification, and it is like for the partners and for the user community group, you can start using it on. You can start using it as a day one solution itself. Okay. I'm gonna give a short demo to you how it works, and eventually I'm gonna show you a functionality as well. So usually when, okay, I'm trying to connect to my environment here on the side. Okay, so typically this is how I was restarting my environment. Give it a minute. So typically this is how our environment will be having, and we'll be having AD server, we'll be having a QlikSense environment, and then we will be having our QlikView environment where we have like multiple users and data sets coming in. Sorry, I go back to here, right? So we'll be having our QlikSense environment. And in my QlikView environment. Okay, sorry about that. I'll just take it a minute.
Weird. Maybe you can just
Yeah, okay. I will skip the part.
quickly.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Sure,
just conscious
no
of time.
Yeah, I will skip the part. So basically, what I was trying to show you guys is a demo on how the migration tool is very easy on. And tomorrow I'm having a workshop you guys can register on where we will go a little more detail onto it. Okay, so that's on the migration tool. And eventually, after I do the migration, once we get into the cloud, people wanted more. People just don't wanted to do a pipeline or data preparation for their normal use case. People wanted to do data pipeline for AI. So with Qlik Cloud, once you get into the Qlik Talent Cloud, so we launched the Knowledge Mart, which is a recent launch, like I will say, like less than a month, where people can take the data from your unstructured sources. Whatever we have done in Qlik or as of now is only on a structured source. Last year, we launched Qlik Answers, which helps to tap on unstructured data. But with Qlik Answer, we are using only the analytic phase. We are not maximum using the unstructured data. So now the Knowledge Mart task, which will be part of the Qlik Talent Cloud, will help you to process your unstructured data, create your mart, vectorize your data, and eventually you can also push this data into your Snowflake or other environment as well. You know, not in addition to using it in the LLM. So this data pipeline for AI is new, which eventually helps you to do unstructured data. And next thing is, okay, I prepared the data is ready and all that. How do I trust the data on that? So Qlik released the trust score for AI. This is available as part of the cloud, available to all the user. So the moment I bring in my data, so here I'm bringing in my customer data, it creates a trust score based upon the parameters like validity, completeness, like my timeliness, all that. I can set the parameter and it will also look at the data quality here and it gives me a score. So you can also see the score is down by 0.2% considering my previous run. So that is like when the new data loads in, that the score have dropped by a certain number. Okay, I will also be able to adjust it. So if you look over here, the diversity factor, after I fine tune it, I can see my score have gone up and then my diversity factor, timeliness, all that have changed. So I can control and changing the parameter, I can increase my trust score also. So this is the block where we have more information so you can talk on. And then if you guys need a specific trial, we have launched a trial. You can use the Qlik trial and then experience the trust score and the agentic AI capabilities as well. More informations on we have the masterclass happening in tomorrow, 2:30 Singapore time, so which is eventually 2:30 Perth time tomorrow. You can scan the QR code to get it registered. This slide I will be sharing with Sergey, so eventually you can get it from the event group as well. And in October 14, we are having the AI reality tour happening in Sydney. More informations we are about to launch, but this is like a high level on what's coming up next from the Qlik perspective. Okay, I pass on this slide so people who are interested, you can register. Tomorrow, I'm sure I'm going to give you a demo and I'm actually going to give you a step-by-step tips on how you can move to the cloud very easily.
Right, thank you.
Yeah,
Sounds
thanks,
good.
Sergey.
Yep, thank you. Any questions from audience? Yeah, because like my question is for migration tool. Like from my understanding, it simply takes whatever you've got in your environment and puts it into the new environment, and this is it. So because I would say the main complexity not in the migration itself, it's more in code refactoring, because we found that with any migration from QlikView or from QlikSense to Qlik Cloud, or from QlikView to QlikSense, we spend more time just finding the errors in data flows and fixing data models and all of that. So basically, it's not really the move itself. Okay. So it's more the data structures that were written a long time ago that needs to be refactored. Yes.
Okay, so there are 2 points I want to add in here. Oh, there's a question.
Okay. Yeah. Ajay, you can add, and then there will be a question.
Okay, so on this tool, so the tool not just move it over there, but it also refactor you for the latest, how the best the visualization or the things going to be. So that means like I don't just copy the QEW. I'm just saying an example from a ClickView perspective. Okay, so we have legacy ClickView customer using a financial dashboard with some cross table and all that, right? So they no need to just copy the QEW and put it there. It's not going to be like that. So in past, we were doing it as part of the data gateway at the moment. But in the current one, you have much more flexibility and you have much more control on how you do it on. I'm sorry if I can show one quick screen. Let me know if you guys see my screen.
It's coming up. Yes, we can see.
Okay, so this is the interface. So if you look at it, this is my ClickView environment.
We just see partner elevate move to cloud.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay, I am sharing a second screen here. Okay. Okay, do you see my VM?
Yes.
Okay. So this is basically the tool, the Qlik Analytic Migration tool. We can install it on-prem. So for the demo purpose, I have installed it inside my QlikView server, so you can see my access point. Okay.
Yep.
And then I create a connection as simple as that to my environment. Then I plan and then I create a project on what are the things I need to do. Right. Okay. So it's a step-by-step guide. It's not everything at a single shot. OK, so and when I create a project, it gives me a list of items what I need to configure. Right. So it's much more than moving like one at a time. You can see I established multiple connections. I can plan my route, like what are the components, what are the things I need to do it on step by step on. Right. And when I say create it, it just gives you the full list of what are the items, what are the component, everything it will gives you. Then you can decide it step by step. Yeah.
Okay.
Connection, spaces. It is much more than lift and shift.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. I think I will join the webinar tomorrow, so I will see.
Yes, please join the webinar tomorrow. Yeah, I've given the link in the scan and you can also join in. Yeah.
Sure. Alexei, you had a question?
Yeah, I'm coming from a regulated environment and I have a question regarding the storage. Is it in Australia? And yes, where is the data processing happening? Because sometimes data processing is not in the same region as data storage.
Yeah. Did you hear the question, Ajay?
So it was. Can you repeat the questions again for me?
So the question was where the data is stored, and I believe it's AWS Sydney, and where data processing is happening, I believe it's also at AWS Sydney.
Correct.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct. So basically the Qlik tenant for the region, it sits in Sydney as a main and the backup sits in Melbourne.
Okay. So Sydney and Melbourne. So all Australia.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep.
And the data processing as well.
I don't
because
think.
I give you an example with Google, for example, their Vertex AI.
Yeah.
They had only 2 data centers doing that process, and one in Europe, one in US.
Okay. Okay.
So the processed it away from the state.
Yep. So you should be careful. That's why I'm asking, because data can go around the globe for processing in some
couple of times.
Yeah. So just to be careful. Thank you.
Right. Yeah. Thanks. Thank you. Okay. Any other questions?
So I'm sharing a region. We also have other regions, but basically from AP perspective, we have Sydney and Melbourne.
Yep. AP, it's Asia Pacific. Yep. So, yeah, Richard.
There was a pricing opportunity a few months ago to move, like an incentive.
Yes.
To move from on-prem to the cloud. We weren't. Well, my company wasn't in a position to move then, but I'm just wondering if that kind of pricing opportunity is going to come back.
I'm not too sure what exactly you're talking about. Maybe.
Yeah. Join the webinar tomorrow.
I do understand that. I do understand that. Incentive. So there is always something. As long as you want to move somewhere, or as long as you want to do something, you just reach out to your partner.
So I'm just hoping that comes back.
We can chat about it maybe later, because maybe it was a specific partner time and opportunity for yourself. So because I don't know exact details. So, but it's good to talk to Buna in your case. So I think, yep.
quick question. The
Yes.
ML, the large language and you call it Qlik knowledge?
Qlik answers.
Qlik answers? Is
Yes.
that general release?
I'm not. I'm pretty sure it is general release. Qlik answers. However, depending on the licensing, because David is from Regis Resources and they still have user-based licensing. So not sure if answers are available for them yet.
Okay. So a short answer is basically you can buy answers separately,
Purchase.
or when you go to the capacity model, you get it as part of your capacity.
Yep. Yeah, I know about that capacity, but yeah, with user-based licensing as you have right now, you will have to purchase answers additionally. So it's, but if you move to capacity, then other things, basically there are other things then to consider. So, but it is possible. Anything else? No questions from the audience. Oh, Peter? No. So thank you very much, Ajay, for this update and this interesting news. Thank you for that.
Sure.
So now
I will stay in the line. All the best, guys. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thanks for joining. So now I'd like to move to the next presentation and introduce you to Edwin. I'll stop sharing. Edwin, it's over to you. I know Edwin from Partner Ambassador Group, so Qlik Partner Ambassador Group. So, and it's nice that he managed to make some time, even it's very early for him, to present the zero-touch version control. I'm very excited about it. Thank you.
Absolutely, thank you, Sergey. Yeah, so yeah, we met each other in Lund in personal, and of course at the events. Being a partner ambassador of Qlik, now partner ambassador affiliated. So yeah, happy to be here. It has been a while since I went to Australia. I think it was 2018, 19, just before COVID. So I said to Sergey, maybe time to go again and visit you guys live. So yeah, happy to do that. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, that is great. So yeah, I want to talk about the power of Qlik, of course, but then how can we deliver this faster? How can we deliver this in a more efficient way? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So this is Qlik 2023, some time ago, where two Qlikies presented Motio as a proud Dallas company, of course, but also operating worldwide. We have customers basically in every major economy, including New Zealand and in Australia, and that's why we have support in India as well, so that we can support every continent. And we're a DevOps company. What does that mean? We try to automate and try to optimize the whole delivery process of analytics. And when we talk with customers all over the globe, you know, you can hear I'm not from America, I'm from the Netherlands, so I work with a lot of European companies and of course with Australian companies. They tell me basically about the same issues that they have. First is things are going a little bit too slow. They would like to speed up the whole delivery process. And I understand that business and analytics and BI is complex, but sometimes we just lose time during the process. The second part is that we have quality issues in apps and in sheets. We discussed a little bit performance today, but there can be other issues as well in apps. And how can we improve the whole quality of what we are building and what we're delivering? Now, people come and people go in organizations, and that means that sometimes they take their knowledge with them if they leave. Somebody has built a very complex app and master expressions, etc., and then a load script. But what did they do? And you can document whatever you want, but it's not always clear why certain changes were happening, what the tickets were that were related with it. So how can we capture that knowledge? No backup is a very basic one, of course. If I make a change, it's saved. Of the version control in cloud is very, very basic. So how can I make sure that backup, version control, that I can always roll back? And that's not only on apps, it's also on QMC settings or other elements in Qlik. And then lastly, cumbersome deployment. How can I automate the whole release process in Qlik, especially when I have multiple environments or if I'm hybrid? So in general, what we see is that there's a process slowdown, sometimes unpredicted impacts, and in general, that leads to more risk and more cost. So we have created a full DevOps platform, and we call that data-driven development, because there is so much data in organizations. And I'm not talking about business data, I'm talking about BI data, analytic data. I want to talk about analytic intelligence. So if I am a business intelligence engineer, or if I am a business intelligence manager, I should have data as well and use that during my creation and delivery and management of the whole Qlik platform. And that's what I mean by data-driven development. So the base of this is DevOps. And a lot of people say, oh, DevOps, let's put it in Git, right? Well, that's not completely true. I don't know who has read the Phoenix project. It's a very easy access to what DevOps is all about. It's written in the form of a novel. If you haven't read it, you probably read it in a weekend, because it's such an interesting book and very exciting book, because it is a novel. And it explains what DevOps is. But the basic of DevOps is that we want to have a repeatable, reliable release process. And that means that we have to automate almost everything in that process and keep everything under version control. So that's how we build quality in, and that's how we continuously improve as a BICC, as a business intelligence group. If you are more interested in a more academic book, so also a little bit more boring book, is this from David Farley that explains what continuously delivery is and means. But data-driven development. So if I talk about data-driven development, I talk about getting that information right at the place where developers work. Well, where do you work? You work in Qlik. So I want to bring all that information, that metadata that we have, to Qlik. And we do that in different ways. First, if there's a change, if somebody comes to you and they say, hey, this sheet, it looks differently right now. I thought that I requested a change, but I like the April version better because there was some other charts in there. You're like, the April version, I don't really remember. So we can do a visual diff of sheets. So we can put the old sheet next to the new sheet and say, well, is this what you meant? Is this a change? And that's much better than a code diff, because code diff of a graph doesn't tell you anything. Is that we bring Qlik analytics into the Qlik environment. And that means that you will get insight as a developer on the latest development, who made the latest change. Turns out that Sergey was working on my app yesterday. Why was he working in my app? It was assigned to me, but maybe he had to make a quick fix. I didn't realize that. And that means that we can see prior development. We can see the associated tickets. So I was assigned to a ticket, but there was another open ticket. I can see if there are current issues in the app. Everybody is probably aware of QSDA Pro, and QSDA Pro flags 10 issues. Well, Edwin, if you're working on this app, why don't you look at the issue and fix them at the same time? And then something very important. I can look at the endpoint app. And the endpoint app, you should think about the production app. That means that if I deploy from dev to QA to prod, I can look at the prod app and tell me about the usage. You can imagine that if I'm working on an app and it says here relative usage to other apps, if this app is used the most in your organization, Edwin, you better be careful. Or if this app is barely ever used, why are you even working on this? So getting information about the app in production while you are in development, or you are in a shared space and you want to know about the app in the managed space, it can tell you all this information. Also about private and community objects. There are a lot of private sheets and you're changing the load process. You want to know that, and you want to make sure that you don't break those sheets. All right. So we are expanding the Qlik UX with information about QSDA Pro. So if I have tested the app with QSDA Pro, I can see in Qlik what the issues are, and I can kick off a new QSDA Pro assessment from the Qlik UI. Something else that I can do is look at performance. So I can see that here, it gives me some flag about the performance. This thing is in dev, not running slowly. It's very fast actually, but there are some issues in the design of this graph that could be optimized, because if there's a lot of data, it might get very slow. So it warns you on forehand how you can do better development with information about the app, with information about best practices. And then you can see, well, what is the recommendation? How can you make the change and actually improve this thing before it goes to production? We also want to make things easier. And we talked a little bit about AI, of course, and Qlik answers. We made integration, and it's optional. If people don't like it, you don't have to do it. But we can integrate with OpenAI and use Ask AI. And for example, I have to give a description of a sheet, or I have to give a description of a measure. I can ask AI to give me that description. Much easier, much faster, right? Gen AI is everywhere. Well, why don't we send this metadata, not data, this metadata to OpenAI, get an answer back. If you like it, you just save it. If you want to change it a little bit, you can do so. At the same time, there's a global search. So if I am making a master expression or a measure, then I can say, well, does something like this exist in my Qlik environment? I can quickly search through all the names or all the expressions and see, hey, in another app, this one is used. Well, I want to make sure that I use the same expression, right? I don't want to slightly change it and then create an issue of consistency. So searching across a metadata catalog, all the expressions and reuse it can be very, very valuable to deliver faster. So the base of all of this is zero-touch version control. And zero-touch version control really means that we pick up everything without a check-in, check-out, without a commit, so that even business users that make private and community sheets, bookmarks, everything is picked up automatically. And that helps with collaboration. I already gave the example. If there's no zero-touch version control, I wouldn't know that Sergey was making a change yesterday, but now I do. So no commit, no check-in. I think that's the base, because I don't want to put a burden on people. I don't want to make people do more. I want people to do less. So no check-in needed. Everything is picked up. And that's how we create this comprehensive metadata catalog. All objects, apps, of course, sheets, security rules are versioned, and QMC settings are being versioned. So everything is being versioned. Excellent for root cause analysis. If something doesn't work, you can always say, what happened? What has changed? Hey, my app didn't change. Well, what did change? Maybe related apps, if I want to see the lineage, or maybe something in the QMC changed. So the product we're talking about is called Sorter. We have two plugins. First, we call it DevGenie, and that is the browser plugin. And then we have Agented by Qurious Pro, and Qurious Pro is from Rob Wunderlich, who is one of the partner ambassadors and, well, teacher during the Master Summit trainings. So zero-touch version control, no change in the way of working, which means that if the software is installed, it works. Very seamless for power users that are not non-technical. We don't look at the app as a binary file, but we look at an app as a container, and we version the individual parts of the container individually. Lifecycle automation, so merging, branching, deployment, inspection, and testing is what you expect, but also to be audit ready. Who changed what, when, and why? You can answer that question. And we do ticket integration. We can integrate with Jira or Azure DevOps so that we can know why a certain change was made, and was it authorized, and who requested it. So we bring all that information together. And then lastly, we have analytics over analytics. And that's how I started, right, the discussion here. If I'm a BI manager, if I'm a DNA manager, and I preach business intelligence to my business, you have to work on data, not on feel. I should, and in America say, eat your own dog food. Well, I don't like that expression. I like to say, let's drink our own champagne, and Qlik is our champagne. So we should visualize all the DevOps data in Qlik to use that for managing our own processes. So we integrated Qurious Pro, the Grammarly for Qlik, and seamlessly now. And we have DevGenie, the Chrome extension, that brings that DevOps data in the Qlik UI. We can use it for running Qurious Pro, and we can also automate all kind of tedious admin tasks. So what is the architectural setup? So you have your Qlik environment, whether that's cloud or on-premise or a mix, that doesn't really matter. You have your power users, your BI engineers, your admins. Whenever they make changes, Soter will connect to these environments and stores it in its own database, in its own repository. And then you can reversion it, you can search it, you can roll back, you can test, deploy, and report. And we store that information and bring it back to Qlik so that we have our metadata catalog and then have BI over Qlik, BI over BI. So the results is basically that you can work more efficient on your task. So we create efficiency. It's a process-driven tool, so that leads to better apps in the whole process. And every manager knows that if you manage the process, you manage the quality, but also project-oriented automation. So if you go into cloud and you want to keep track on progress, if you want to clean up your environment, if you want to delete stuff out of your environment for a project, if you want to optimize your apps before you go to the cloud, you can use it for these projects as well. All right, I don't have much time, but I would like to share one screen because, otherwise it's very, very dry. But basically what I'm having here is my Soter environment. I have different nodes here, so you can see I have all my environments, my Qlik Cloud environments. I got Power BI as well here, and basically that allows me to look at everything in projects where I can cluster information. For example, all the finance streams or spaces, the marketing, so I can apply different rule sets there. But my admin project contains everything. And you can see here all the QMC elements that I'm versioning. I'm versioning the personal workspace. I can do even bulk updates of Qlik. So if I have to mass update multiple apps, I can do so, right? And then in my stream, you can see that I have here all my streams. And then if I go to my data analysis stream, I got here my different apps. If I go to an example, you can see that I have here the individual parts. I can open this and I can see a timeline very quickly on everything that happens in this app over time. So I can see here the properties files, but then the timeline tells me all the changes that happened. And I have this timeline on the environment, on the project, on the space or on the stream, and I have it on the app as well. So I can see exactly who changed what, when, and why. I have tickets integration. I have my inspection history with QSDA Pro, so I can see what the quality of the app is and how it's doing. I got dependency, I got classification. So basically I got everything. And if I would make changes, and I don't have time for that, you would see it pop up here automatically in the change history. Which user changed what. If I deleted anything, I can always roll it back. I can compare two versions to see the difference of what has happened. So, and even I can integrate with ticket integration here. So if I would say, hey, change this one, I can say, well, wait a minute, I want to look in my tickets here, and then I can add different issues, ticket issues to here and make cross references so that I can update Jira on the fly if I want to. All right. Thank you so much for this very short and brief overview. If you want to have a full demo, contact Sergey. We can set it up for you guys and make sure that you have the most accurate and reliable Qlik implementation possible and work in an efficient way. Thank you so much. Any questions?
Thank you, Edwin. Any questions? Yes, Craig.
How do you handle clashes? So person A is working on an app and person B is working on the same app at the same time. And
how do you handle it? Yeah, did you hear the question, Edwin?
Yeah. So how do you handle conflicts if we work on the same time? Now, first of all, we have something that we call collision detection. So the moment I open an app and Sergey has it in his personal workspace, it says, Edwin, you're clashing with Sergey. You better talk to each other. But if it's intentional, let's say that Sergey has to make a quick fix on a sheet and I'm working on the load process, we version them individually. So his version can be merged into the app because we version them individually. That's the second part. If Sergey only wants to deploy that sheet because the rest, he doesn't want to bring that in, we can deploy the objects individually. I can deploy only one sheet. And the good thing is we don't have to reload the data, right? If we only deploy a sheet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you can experience it in cloud when you can deploy the app without data and
Yep.
But
yep.
in this case, it's even more granular.
Very granular. Yeah.
Yep. Anything else? Yes, Alexei.
Maybe a tricky question because everything is going around AI right now, and I saw the integration with OpenAI. Is this the only option, or there is an option to connect different LLMs, or just OpenAI service?
Yeah, we started with OpenAI, and we will open up to companies' own system or others. But you know, I'm a dreamer, right? One of the things that we are working right now is analytic intelligence. And that means that, I don't know if who of you guys are runners or bikers, but if you use the app Strava, I don't know, is anybody using Strava app? Okay, so it gives you athletic intelligence. It tells you, Edwin, your run was a little bit slower, but you're still in the analytic zone, but blah, 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 right? That's what we're gonna do. If you will open your app, it will say, hey, Edwin, this app hasn't been changed for 3 months, but Sergey worked on it. There are 4 open flags in QST Pro. You want to look at that. It's the most heavy used app. So it gives you a little bit of a description of the development phase, what happened. And we will use OpenAI for that. But to answer your question, we will open it to other LLM systems as well. And we are looking at, can we deliver our own? So if you run it on premise, that you don't have to go to outside your organization with an external AI system, because we're always a little bit scared of that, right? And for good reasons. So not yet, but working on it very hard.
And the OpenAI service, which you're talking about, is it Qlik's OpenAI, or we have to register our own OpenAI service?
It's OpenAI. What is it?
OpenAI. So your own, basically, whatever you.
Yeah, ChatGPT.
Yeah, I know. I just who is providing the service? Is it Qlik provides the service, or we have to set it up and connect it?
You have to set it up and connect
it. It's your own. It's your own account.
Yep. Thank you.
Yep. Anything else? Right, no questions. Thanks. Thank you very much, Edwin. So we'll reach out to you if we have any further conversations here.
Yep.
Unfortunately, you can't join us for the drinks. So
no, that's a bummer. It's also a little bit too early for me, I must say.
Yeah, I agree. A little bit too early. Yeah.
A little bit too early. I'm still with my cup of tea.
That's okay. Thank you, Edwin. So in this instance, we will move to the last presentation. That would be presentation from myself. Let me share my screen again. Let me share my screen again. And today I'd like to chat a little bit about the performance. Yeah, because performance apparently is pretty important part. So, and there are a couple of aspects of it. So the first one, which we're actually going to talk about today, is data refresh time. So how fast we can refresh the data and work with the data. Yeah. And the second one is user interface. We are like, it will have impact some impact on the user interface, but not that much. So we will mostly talk about it, about data refresh time today. So, with data refresh time, the couple of things like performance of the server, how it performs, how often you can refresh, because the faster you can get data, the more often you can do it. Yeah. So, and the last but not least is speed of development, because, you know, I often see the developers that are sitting in their phones because there are 5 other data reload processes running, and it's good if it's 5, but if it's just one and you spend in like half an hour just to get something, that for me just waste. Yeah. So faster we get it, better. So that's why today we are going to explore the data set of 100 million rows. I created it, just randomized data and so on. So it's not very representative because it still takes, I would say, it's been loaded too fast for my tasting, but in the real life, it's definitely much slower, especially when you load it from the database. Like try to load 100 million rows from the database. I mean, you can expect half an hour, and every time run refresh for an hour, it's a bit too much. So today we are going just to talk about optimized load and only optimized load. Like when I just started to write this presentation, I thought, oh, I can talk about auto numbering and like apply maps and all of that. So, but when I finished the part about optimized load, I already had probably 15 slides. I said, oh, probably enough for one presentation. So how the normal optimized load looks like. So we in Qlik, you generally load data from QVD file, and when you do that, you simply load all fields with a star or without star, with just field listing, and it loads pretty fast. We can even try it. Let me switch to my. Sorry, it asked me to log in as usual. That's okay. It should be quite fast. If you wish, I can share the application with you, so you will have all examples. So this is our load, and it has 100 million rows. Pardon me?
We're not sharing.
Sorry. I will just exit from the presentation then. Can you see it now? Yes, great. You can see it now. So I'm loading the data, and I expect it to be loaded within 30 to 37 seconds. You can spend time. Like I won't load it every time, but I just want to demonstrate that it is quite fast. It's always funny when it's been loaded and it shows 0 for a long time. Then it says like same very random small numbers, and then it bam gives you 100 million rows, 100,000 million. Oh, sorry, 100 million. Yeah, 100 million. Here we go. So it's like a load bar in the old Windows system. It just goes slow and then really fast. Yes, and then it's just stick there. Yeah, exactly. So you see, 38 seconds, actually a bit slower than usual, but it is still quite fast. Yeah. However, it's very, very rare that you load all the data all together. Yeah. Basically, to keep load optimized, we can't do many things. We can't do any ifs, while matches, apply maps, any data manipulations. Like it's impossible. You can't use multiple where exists statements. So basically, you are limited to only one filter at a time. But what you can do rename fields. You can duplicate fields with a different name, just basically load the same field, but as something. You can skip the field and not load it at all. That's also possible. And use where exists with one field. Yep. So possible scenarios how you can do that. It's load data from QVD files with some filtering, then filtering, again, filter the QVD file to the previously loaded data set. Then you still want to load data from the file and do some transformation, or you want to load the data and use it as a mapping table. Yep. So we will just go through those and see how to keep load optimized in each instance. Yeah. Because I know that many people are talking about optimized load and how to load the data faster, but not many people actually use it. And there is a good saying in Russian. Not really. It's not really saying. So it's a joke that one person talked to each other and says, "Oh, I don't like cats," and second one answer, "Oh, you just don't know how to cook them." So, and the same here. Yeah. So Yes, we did that. And how we, okay, I actually want to run it as a presentation now. Can you see it now?
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, when we try to do where statement and say dim1 equal C, you remember we had 38 seconds, yes? In this instance, it's instantly becomes 1 minute 13. So basically it jumps generally 2 times or more. Like in real life, it jumps even more. And you loaded only third of the data set in this instance, but you spend twice as much time. Yeah, it's not good. So how to fix it is we can always load, preload this data set in an inline table or any previously loaded data set. In this instance, I said, okay, create a field dim1 with field C and basically use where exists dim1. So as you can see, I was taking screenshots of load time and it's 29 seconds. So it's kind of the same as we would have loaded the whole thing without filtering, but it's still quite fast for data set that big. Then the common issue with the optimized load like that, quite often people say, right, actually where exists takes 2 parameters. The field that existed in the data set, and second one is the field that exists in the data set I'm trying to load it. Like dim1 exists here, but you see, I renamed the field to FLTR, basically, make sure that it's a filter. So that's why I'm saying, and it looks all right. Like everybody says that it's possible, like there are 2 parameters, why can't we use it? So you actually can, but the load won't be optimized after that. It's probably a bug, I don't know why, but there is a way how to fix it. To fix it, what we should do, we just need to add the same field twice as FLTR. As soon as you do this, you still get 29 seconds and it works fine. And it is very simple fix. Actually, I usually do it differently. I rename field in an input data set and just use where exists as existing field, but it doesn't matter. So the rule is that both fields should exist in the data set. As long as the rule is met, you get good performance. Next one. What if you need to apply more than one filter? You can do that, but you need to do it in 2 stages. So basically, in this instance, it's a grayed out, but yeah, I think it should be fine. You see, I created small inline table, the same as in the beginning. I did where exists with load star, and then I just did resident load with another filter in. Everything 33 seconds. So performance kind of preserved. We're still doing it very fast, even though we did 1 load and then second load after that. So we did it twice, but the number of rows now is even lower, but the speed of it still fine. We can live with it.
If you did that in one step with 2 conditions,
it won't be optimized. It would be more than a minute. So that's why, like in the scripts, sometimes that you see which we produce at Qurious, you see some things that do not make sense. Why do you do it twice? Why don't you do it once? That's because performance is an issue. And if we generally try to comment those things, trying to say, oh, this one is just faster. But I often see that in the apps that were maintained by other people after we deliver the project, the performance, like I remember one, the reload time was 4 minutes, but after someone did the change, it's become 35. So why? Because they just put where condition in one place and it broke everything. Not really broke. I mean, it's still working, but it's just way slower. Apply map. So many people think that that's normal, but apply map will break optimized load for you, and it will take again quite long time to load even just 2 fields. So how to resolve it? Basically do the same as we did the first time. Load it as a normal table, and then do resident load from this table. So I don't have statistics how long will it take, but actually with apply maps you need to be careful, because when mapping table become too big, sometimes it's better to do join. While some people say, oh, but Sergey, you told me that joins are slower. Yes, but it depends. So that's why you always have to test what you do. And all those even things that I just mentioned, sometimes, like if data is small, because 100 million rows data set is, I mean, quite substantial. If data set is 20,000 rows, 30,000 rows, 100,000 rows, it probably doesn't matter. So you don't need to go down that complexity trying to optimize something if data set is small and still working fine. Yep. So next one, apply transformations. So what if we need to apply transformations like this? This will, as I mentioned at the beginning, will instantly break your optimized load and it will become slow. So what can you do here? You load just full file, apply transformation as resident load, and it works fast. So you just drop table in the end, the first one, because you don't need it anymore. So last one, or not last one, there are probably a couple of more things. So the next thing is about data refresh with the date filter. What you often would see that people would say, okay, there is no year or month field or anything like that. There is date. So I can say where year date equal 2024. So as you can see, we again loaded just third of the data set, and it's more than a minute. So it takes time. So what I do in this instance, I generally, like if I know that data can be partitioned by year month, I would store it when I loading it from the source, I would store it separately into separate files. Like you see, it goes here year month, and you've got here variable. So basically, it means that I stored the data partitioned by month. And what it allows me to do, it allows me to load the data like that in the for loop. It will be auto-concatenated because it has the same, like every file has the same field, list of fields. And in this instance, you can apply where exist filter in here. I mean, I didn't do it this time, but actually you can, like, I'm filtering it by particular month that I want to load, but then I simply load only those and can apply another where exist if required. Does it make sense? So I'm kind of tricking the system and saying, okay, I've got date filter and I've got something else if I need to. Yes, if you need, you can apply all transformations just later after that, as we discussed before. So this is the quick script for dynamic range. So basically what it does, you see the first variable sets how many months back you want to get data from, and it will always load last 12 months. As I said, I can give you an example later on, but that would be the input. Like in here, you see here I just hard-coded them, but that table would just generate it. Sorry, a bit technical, but that's the last one. So what we learned today: use optimized load. Don't be scared of it. Then don't break it. Yeah, that's. Use where exists to limit the data, apply transformations to the resident load afterwards, and partition data if you see fit, because sometimes partitioning can be not only even on date field, but you can Like for Western Power, we did it by asset class or EGI, or it can be by department, by whatever. So depending it's what chunks you want to slice it. And then the last advice is just experiment and test, because sometimes whatever you are trying to do here, not worth it. So you need to be wise when you implement it, or like when you complicate things unnecessary, it's just harder to read, harder to maintain, harder to understand, and so on. But if you do it smart, it will be all fast and easy. Any questions?
What situation would you recommend to use a binary load? If you have a large amount of data, you can use a binary load to bring that information into your...
Yeah, you just bring the whole data model into the new app. If I remember correctly, and Ajay can confirm it or not, I think Qlik deprecated binary load just recently.
Oh, in the cloud, or...
I think, yeah, in the cloud, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't need it very
Sorry,
often.
Sergey, what was the last question? Sorry, did I miss it?
Yeah, binary load. My question for Ajay, for you, Ajay, was did Qlik recently deprecate binary load, or I'm mistaken?
No, binary load we still haven't. We
Still have it. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Then I
basically on access we may need to verify, but binary load is still there. Yeah.
Okay, so honestly, I use it only when I create demo apps from the apps that were existing ones. Like in general, like I do know that there is a way, like 4-tier architecture, where binary load would be the last step when you load the existing data model and to share it with people. But I don't remember when I did it last time. And
I have used it, but well,
it's just I mean it can be beneficial in some instances when you've got the same data model and you want to kind of have different analysis on it. But in this instance, why wouldn't you have it just in one app? Maybe end printing is the way to go, because sometimes you want to get end printing, and it's better when it's separate up. At least when it was on-prem, it was the case.
No, just if you have a large amount of data, you bring it in from a binary. Quite very quickly.
Again, maybe I just add a point here. As you're talking on the binary load, with your capacity, cloud capacity model, right?
Yeah.
Right. So when you're doing a 2-tier or a 3-tier architecture, Qlik loading the data from another QED or from the app, it is not counted. Okay. You can still leverage on your 3-tier architecture.
Yes.
And additionally, on the extractor path, like what you are talking about, the optimized load and all. So we have certain parameter, right, which we can set in the load script, which is like a optimized load, yes or no kind of. So that parameter can ensure you for a faster loading as well. In the script, you can set the optimized load, yes or no parameters. Yeah.
Interesting. It's good. Yes, correct.
So you had an example there where you load it as an optimized load and then you load resident.
Yes.
Could you do that as a stat load?
As a what? You mean the preceding load? No. No, it won't work. Okay. As long as you do preceding load with transformations in it, you break the optimized load. So you need to do resident. Okay. But then you can have as many as preceding loads as you need when you do resident, if you need to. So that's hopefully answers your question. Anyone else? I have a question for you. Did you find anything new for you here? Okay, good.
I didn't know that you could use an exists. I thought optimized load was just basically a straight load without any conditions. So else you could.
Yeah, it still have. Yeah, just one, but you see how many things you can do if you know the way. So I hope I shared the way to cook it today with you. So, and you, yes. No cats. I like cats. So.
No, they were trying in the US, but eating cats.
Yeah. Anyway, good.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks for that. Any other questions about the presentation? Oh, because we are over 7 minutes, actually drinks are warming up. So we need to move. So let me quickly bring up my agenda. As usual, if you have something to present, reach out to us. And this is our committee members. If you need any help, I'm pretty sure if you go to them, as well as me, you always can get some help. And thank you very much for attending today. Thank you, Edwin, for joining us, and thank you, Ajay, for sharing the presentation.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you, Edwin. Thank you, Ajay.
And I hope that I can visit you guys maybe next year in person. Definitely on my plans to go to Australia again. And last time I only went to the east side, as most people. But then I'm sure now I know Sergey and the rest.
West side is better.
We'll
Yes.
go to the west side. Yes. The west side, the best side, right?
Yeah, it's bigger, you know. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for attending. So
thank you guys. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.